Hello, everyone. Welcome to GA's Tea Time. We discuss all things General Hospital. If you haven't already, please hit the bell notification. The like and subscribe really helps the channel. And I want to send a special thank you for everybody that has already subscribed. So, guys, let's get our teacups, let's get our snacks, and let's get ready to discuss our favorite characters. General Hospital Daily Recap, Thursday, February 19th, 2026. So, guys, there was a bunch of people in this episode. We had Maxie, Nathan, Spinelli, Michael. It was Maxie's homecoming. So, let's see what our favorite bunch of characters are up to. So Michael was getting the kids ready to take them to Willow's, and Rick was there because Rick is like the intermediary. Like him and Alexis are going to be there to make sure that Michael and Willow don't get into any arguments. Just a smooth transition. So while Rick is waiting, Michael gets a call from the PCPD, and they're like, "We need you to come down." So he's like, "Well, can I come down in about an hour or so because I got to do something?" And they're like, "No, we need you to come down like right now." So Rick was like, "Okay, well, I will drop off the kids. Don't worry about it." So Michael goes down to the police department. In the interim of that, somehow the conversation gets about Michael Keys, and while he was like, "Oh, are those the keys that Uncle Chase was touching?" So Rick is just like, "What?" So okay, so we got one connection there. Thank you, Wiley. I'm glad this little boy was paying attention and he spoke up right away. Now, down at the PCPD, Dante and Nathan are talking. Now, Dante finally got a little bit of sense. Dante said, it doesn't seem like something Michael would do. Like this is not really the smartest thing to leave that key on the ring. Michael is a little bit more crafty than that. So he did put that out there. Nathan was like, well, maybe he forgot or something like that. But, Dante has got a little bit of a question mark on the key situation. Dante, ADA Turner, and Nathan were discussing the theory about the key. And Nathan did say that Chase kind of gave him that theory because it was almost like, where did you get this theory from? So he did tell him that Chase did this. So I'm glad he did say that because when everything comes, at least they'll know where he got this theory from. So Nathan is asking the question, Michael, and Michael's like, I'm not answering any of your questions till my lawyer gets here. Thank you. So Nathan's like, well, if you just answer the questions, you're going about your way. So Michael's like adamant. He's like, no, I need a lawyer. So Rick comes down. Rick walks in. He's like, look, I need to speak to my client. He goes straight to the back. He sits down with Nathan and Michael. And then, he's Rick is going at it a little bit. Then he said, you know what? Look, this is something you can't handle. He's talking to Nathan. I need to speak to ADA Turner. He knows she's watching outside the glass. So Nathan left, and Rick is talking to ADA Turner and Dante, and he was just like, yeah, you don't know who put that key on there. You don't have no evidence about who put the key, who was handling those keys, anything like that. And they were like looking at him kind of, sideways, a little skeptical. But then he said, I have a witness that says that somebody was handling those keys. So they both look in the back. So Michael looks at him and he's like, who? Who was handling those keys? Willow? And Rick was like, no. He was like, Chase. So they Dante and ADA Turner are just like, ugh, look, this case is over now. Once Chase what Willow's plan just went out the window because ADA Turner and Dante are gonna have to throw this whole case out. Even if Michael did it, they is so mucky now, they cannot touch this. So once they do that, that's it. This is over. So once they can prove that Michael didn't touch, I mean Chase had his hands all over those keys, that's it for that. So I'm glad this is how they wrapping up this case because I'm tired of it. Maxie's homecoming was today. The family was setting up decorations. The kids got into a little bit of an argument, and Mac was like, "Okay, cut this out. Your mom's on the way back." And Maxie came in, but she was smiling because it's what she was used to. Spinelli came out of the back. He was like, "Oh my goodness, Maxie, I missed your grand opening, grand coming in," and she said, "Cut it out." And Brooklyn and Chase were in the back. They brought Bailey Lou up to her, so she could see her. Because Bailey Lou was the only child that she didn't get a chance to see. She saw her two older children, but not Bailey Lou. And she was so happy to see the baby. And she was thanking Brooklyn for taking care of her while she was not there. And then Chase chimed in and kind of was like, "We are grateful for taking care of the baby." And I was kind of like, "Chase, you need to be quiet and go sit somewhere." But anyway, Maxie was just very thankful to everybody for, standing up and chipping in and helping with the kids and the home and everything while she was not able to. Spinelli came over to Brooklyn to tell her, thank you for helping me get ready for this. So, Spinelli was all jazzed up, nice jacket, had on the fresh new clothing. So he was telling Brooklyn, he's going to put in a good fight to fight for Maxie. Lulu arrived late to the party. She was talking to Maxie initially, and Maxie kind of got on her about how you're going to come late. But they also were in agreement that, Lulu knows exactly what she was going through. So she was just like, I'm here now for you, friend. Brooklyn came up to Lulu and was talking about Nathan, and she kind of was like, well, how far did this relationship or whatever this thing is went? And Lulu's like, it didn't go far. They kissed once, almost kissed twice, but they haven't done anything else. So Brooklyn was like, you should keep that to yourself. Don't tell Maxie any of this. I'm not in a total agreement of this. I feel like, in a way, I think Maxie loves Nathan, but I don't think she wants to go back to Nathan. But I also think that Lulu shouldn't lie to Maxie because that's when it becomes a little messed up. But Brooklyn is kind of on the aspect of this is Maxie's husband, you shouldn't mess with him, stuff like that. But we got to see where Nathan and Maxie's relationship goes. But I think Lulu should be honest with Maxie. Cody was in the kitchen doing something. And then Mac came in and Mac was asking him how is his relationship with Molly. He's like, "Oh, I thought I would see Molly here." And he was like, "No, our relationship is rocky at the moment." So Mac was like, "Okay, well, what's going on?" And he was like, "Well, I don't want to talk about it right now." I was just like, he needs to talk to his father because he needs a grown man to tell him that he's being stupid. But anyway, he didn't tell Mac anything. I wish he had her because Mac would have told him he was being dumb. But Cody is keeping it to himself. Spinelli pulled Maxie to the side and kind of was telling Maxie, listen, there's no rush to make any decisions. So Maxie was getting ready to say something to him, but he kind of cut her off. He was like, don't rush. Take it easy. You just got back. It's okay. So I'm glad Spinelli told her that. I don't know if Maxie felt like she needed to say something at that moment, but she kind of looked overwhelmed. So Spinelli kind of let her know it was all right. And Maxie from then on kind of took her jacket and she said, what, I think I'm going to go for a walk because there's a lot of people at the house. There's a lot of things she got to think of. Remember, Nathan's back, all that kind of stuff. So she actually just went for a walk by herself. Alexis came over to Willow and Drew's house because she's like the in between for the kids when the kids arrive with Rick and Michael. So as she's waiting, she asked Willow, can she go speak to Drew because she wants to see what kind of condition he is in because she wants to bring Scout over for a visit. While she's back there visiting Drew, Willow got a phone call. It was Liz, I guess, telling her she coming. She said Willow left the room. Alexis is back there and Drew is blinking his eyes like crazy, trying to signal her to see something. And Alexis didn't understand what was going on. So she was just like, oh my goodness, I don't know. I don't know what you're trying to say, but I will bring Scout over. And she leaves. So when Alexis goes back, she talks to Willow and she says, I think that Drew is a little agitated. I was trying to talk to him about Scout, but he just seemed like he was trying to say something. But she was like, I don't understand it, so I just kind of left. So the kids come, and Willow's overwhelmed. She's crying and stuff like that. And then Liz was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna give you time with the kids because Liz had brought over some cupcakes for the kids, and she was like, I'm gonna leave. Willow holding Liz hostage. She was like, can you please stay? Because she was a little nervous to be around the kids. So Liz decided to stay and just, give her some moral support and stuff like that. But if I was Liz, I would have ran for the hills. So Willow went to the back and spoke to Drew and said, listen, I heard that you was trying to signal or make some kind of communication or whatever. We can't have that. So she pulled her little vial of medication or whatever that stuff is that you pumping in Drew and gave him some more of it. Now here is the thing. it was kind of weird that she left Alexis back there so long with Drew. If she's going to start doing stuff like that, she's going to get sloppy. I'm telling you, once Drew get up out of this bed, she is in trouble. So she need to stay on top of her medication regimen with Drew, because if not, this is going to end real, real quick. Brooklyn and Chase called Alexis over to tell her they are ready to proceed with the adoption. So Alexis is excited for them. She said, of course, she would help them. She's going to have some stuff coming up. It's going to make her really busy, but she'll make time to make sure that they can get their adoption in order, right? I don't see this happening. First of all, Chase ain't gonna have no job because they're gonna fire him in about 3 seconds. Brooklyn is probably gonna divorce him after she finds out what he's done. I mean, one, Michael's a family member. Two, why are you doing all this for this woman? This don't even make any sense. So yeah, I think the adoption is gonna be put on hold for forever. So Alexis could go focus on her campaign if she makes it. At the end of the episode, Maxie was on that walk that she went to, but she went to Nathan's grave. At Nathan's grave, Nathan was there looking at his grave. He was kind of taking, there was some snow on it or whatever, and he was wiping it off. And Maxie was like, Nathan, and that's how they left it. Now, I know there's been some rumblings around about maybe Nathan is not Nathan, and maybe he's Peter August, or he's Faison, or he got Faison's memories. I don't know. I was thinking about these theories, and I got a theory of my own. I think Peter took Nathan. This is what I think. I think somehow he was working with that crazy father of his. He took Nathan, put Nathan up somewhere, and kept him there. Later on, he came and got with Maxie. That's my theory, because there's a lot of people that saying there's rumblings around the internet that are saying they are bringing back Peter August. I know people are not happy about this, but I don't know if it's true or not. I'm just saying that's what I've been seeing all online, is that people are saying he's coming back. But the way Nathan is acting, I can't see him being Peter, because Peter is just so nasty. I'm like, this guy is not coming off. I think Peter would have slipped by now. I think it would have been some kind of funniness going on. So we'll see. That's my theory. Let me know what yours is. Are you looking forward to Peter August coming back if he does? Or do you think Nathan is somebody else and not really Nathan? Let me know down in the comment section. But and let me know what you think of my theory. I think that's what I'm going with. All right, guys. So guys, that was the end of the episode. If you haven't already, hit the bell notification. I upload a daily recap every day. So you don't want to miss those. They are fun. We talk about everything that happened on the episode. And I also put some extra stuff in there. So we do some quizzes and some polls and some who's leaving. It's a whole bunch of stuff going on. So you don't want to miss any of that. And if you haven't already, please hit the like and subscribe, because it really helps the channel. And I want to thank you for joining us at GA's Tea Time. See you next time. Bye.